Welcome everybody. We welcome you to this series that we're going to run from now till a couple of weeks, and and titled "Road to 2021," Road to Impactful 2021, and we just have the privilege to have some guests, some brethren, people that we are in the same vineyard with the Lord, vineyard of the Lord, and people that um, we work together, and we have two engineers, one lecturer, and the other just rounded off his masters. I am in there, Gugbemi, welcome, and Daniel Malan. You're welcome. I'm privileged to have you. I want to let just because we don't have time. You see, New Year every year happens to be the same cycle with people, for some persons. Um, Same cycle. You have some desire. I want to be this. I want to be that, and then they realize that the same experience they had the last year, the previous year, is the same experience they're having the New Year. And what can you say about that? What can you say about that? What's the reason why people have the same circle every year? What do you think? Circle of problems, circle of um, challenges, circle of redundancy, and all that. So what can you say? Um, Anybody can talk. Are you there? What can you say about that?
First of all, I would say that there is actually no difference between 31st of maybe let's say this year, using 2020 for an example, 31st of 2020 and the 1st of January 2021. There is actually no difference. The difference there is actually maybe just man-made, just as a sequence of people trying to track down events, track down record, and all those kind of things. So
Yes.
the thing is that if people don't understand this, that it's not just about you saying once the new year comes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, it's for you to begin at the present time. At the present time, there's something that people usually say that change begins now. If you are saying, let me wait till I get to the new year, when you get to the new year, the enthusiasm of getting into the new year may aid you. But after some time, when the year begins to take form and then you begin to realize that it's just another year, you see that enthusiasm begins to wane down, and then that motivation that is helping you will begin to wane down. At the end of the day, you see that you just return back to your former cycle and former way of doing things. So I think
That's okay. Okay, but there's something I want us to before we get into what we have to discuss today. We're going to discuss on the power of creative thinking and working and making impact in 2021. Where this year is almost over. Dan, I don't know what can you say about the challenge of redundancy, the challenge of not putting our minds to work. Before we're going to talk about the creative thinking itself, but what can you say about adding to what IMD has said? What can you say?
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to add to what our brother has said. So many people fall back to the same circle as not achieving anything. One, because they should check their drive, they should check what moves them, what motivates them. Because when you're motivated, whether it's in 2020 or in 2019, the year doesn't really matter or affect your motivation. But when your motivation is intact and you have something you are pursuing, so even when you get into the new year with that enthusiasm, with that happiness, okay, it's a fresh start. It's for you to check back and track back, okay, how was I doing things? Can I tighten my motivation? What didn't I do well? How can I improve on that? So these all I'll just
So what is creative thinking? What if creative thinking? Let's just get straight. What is creative
Okay.
thinking?
straight to what we have for today. The topic about creative thinking. I would like to say something also that it goes alongside critical thinking. Creative thinking is the ability to think different, to see problems in a new dimension, and thereby providing new solutions to those problems. So that's where I'll stop.
And the year comes with problems.
Yes.
The year comes with, just as you said rightly, there's no difference between this year and last year, and today and yesterday. It's just the arrangements of time so that people can be able to live together. That's okay. But what can you say? But actually, each day comes with new challenges, there are new things to achieve, there are new heights to climb, creative thinking, way of looking at problems or situations from a different perspective. Can you throw more light? And then you can just add the importance of creative thinking. Why should we think creatively?
Okay, I will first start by saying it's creative thinking is very important. Creative thinking is, I'll put it simply, the ability to think creatively, to think to create something. Now, it's very important, and creative thinking is, they usually say that necessity is the mother of all inventions. When you realize that this is a necessity, this I have to do this, and you put your mind towards it, automatically the mind begin to work to provide solutions. The thing many people don't know is that the mind has a way of inventing problems of its own, but that same mind also has a way of inventing solutions of its own, depending on the perspective through which you look at things. So I think that's one of the major ways through which creative thinking can come. Of course, the Spirit of God also helping, but apart from that, it's also very important, because if we are not creative, if we are not able to invent and to create something, problems will keep on coming our way, challenges will keep on coming our way. So it's the ability for us to tackle these problems head on, with the mind that I can go through this, I can, not with the mind of with the possibility mindset. So I think that's one of the major ways through which we
And in creative thinking, there is always why. Asking why.
Yes.
Why not? Someone said, just let's look at that mindset. So there are people that believes that every problem in this world is upon them. Every demon in this world is upon them. I know that there are spiritual aspects of things, but we're looking at on the normal sphere. There are people that even what they are doing, job they are in, they encounter problems this 2020, and because they don't ask why. And when somebody say we can't do this, they don't ask why not. So let's talk about that why and why not. What can you say? Anybody can just talk. Let's just chip in something.
Okay, I would like to add something to it about the topic on what we're talking about, creative thinking. And I would like to point out that attitude is very key to creative thinking. We have fictions and facts about creative thinking when we encounter challenges. So the attitude in which you approach it, because some people tend to think, okay, when there is a solution, it is the best solution to that problem. And then some people think for an answer, a solution that is being profiled, it is the right solution. But when we see over time, history has proven that when solutions come up, they are inventions, and then it keeps moving on, and then you ask yourself why this. These are the questions of a critical thinker. Critical thinkers are optimistic. Critical thinkers, they think. There's what we also talk about, lateral thinking. When you look at a problem, there's a possible way everyone might think. Okay, let's give an example. Maybe you have an online store and then you lose followers, something like that. The best possible way someone might begin to think, okay, why did I lose followers? Okay, the best way to bring back my followers, maybe do ads and do that. But when we think laterally now, you don't think about, you move out from the way everyone would think about that, and then you think differently. Why is this happening, and then how can I apply to
That is challenging stereotypes.
Yes.
See, anybody that does not, there's a way something is done, there's a way everybody makes his business money, there's a way everyone runs his business, every one of us, and there's a way everybody lives and everybody behaves in this company. But it has not been improving us. It has not been improving, and that's just like stereotype. What can you say that someone who is always reserved, who don't want to challenge some stereotypes, can you say that that person cannot be a creative thinker? Is he creative thinking? How does he mean? Do you think looking beyond the obvious? How, you know, just as Daniel said, what can you say about that?
Okay, I would like to draw a
And when
story.
you're talking, just you can just speak to us and speak to people like we want to challenge the stereotypes. Yeah, things are. This is how my life has been going. Year after year, night after night, 2019, 2017, now 2020, 2021, and I'm still that same person that cannot make an additional 1,000 naira, $1,000. I'm still that kind of person that cannot pray for um, cannot pray for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, as the case may be. I'm still that person that does not things don't work out for. So because could it be as a result of following stereotype, not looking beyond the obvious, not thinking? What can you say? Just
Okay, like I said, I would like to draw a story from the Bible, challenging the stereotype or challenging the common. Now, if you can trace your mind back to the case of Moses, while now the children of Israel were coming from Egypt and then they were in the wilderness, and every morning they will rise up and all the people will come and gather, and then he will be judging them one by one. There was no delegation of duty, there was nothing, he was the one doing everything, and that was wrecking him. And because he thought that maybe this is how it's going to be, he didn't feel that my health is at stake, he didn't feel that this is wearying me, he didn't feel that this is troublesome for me. He was just flowing with the normal, and everyone was flowing with the normal, and he kept on going like that until someone who was concerned about him, until someone who was concerned about the situation now said that now this is that concern and that not being common with the common thing that is going around was what created the necessity for creative thinking. So I would say that anybody that is flowing with the normal, that is just there, and then it's just there, life is consistent, is because the person has not become tired of the normal. The person has not become tired of of changing, of moving forward. If you become tired and then you seek to aspire and then to get away from the normal thing or the common thing, from the stereotype that is around, then automatically I believe that some form of creative thinking will begin to occur.
okay.
So
Yes.
so that's what I would like to say.
Yes, I would like to add also to what our brother said, because the stereotype challenging it also breeds critical thinking. I'll give a story. When we were quite younger, due to where I came from, we were used to, it's a farming, like more farming activities happen there. And then when them crops are being grown, especially maize, you see when they are left to dry up and then they bring it home, okay, we need to arrange it maybe for sale or something like that. You see that usually we were all used to the stereotype, we use our hands to peel and then it causes blisters and all that. But you see, people began to think, okay, how then do we do this? As I say, creative thinking. Okay, one thing with creative thinking, profiling solution, not just based on past solutions or current solutions, looking at something even much more better. So peeling with hands was much kind of difficult, and then we got into putting the maize in sacks and then using like a mortar to pound and then to kind of ease up. But you see, someone was thinking, okay,
Yeah.
but that didn't just suffice. The fiction about critical thinking is, if you assume a solution is the best solution, then you might not be able to critically think for improvement or how to
Yes.
profile solutions. So when we were using the mortar, you should see that blisters still will rub off on your hands. And then there was a young man in my village, and then this is something almost everyone is adopting in that environment. And he sat down and thought, his parents are farmers. Okay, how then do I go about this? Seeing we use hand to peel maize, we use the mortar to beat this, and then it's not quite effective because after that there will be a lot of dust. And then He thought about something. He built a company, or he has a company of his own now, and he made a machine. That machine is just so easy. You put all the maize into it. That machine will sieve out the cobs, sieve out the seedlings, and then blow away the dust from that is being generated from that. And then you could see it was someone that was challenged by the stereotype.
Yes.
We are being used to peeling with our hands or using the mortar, and then he thought outside the box. Okay, how then can I do this? And then he thought with his team. You know, when we talk about critical thinking, also we also have teamwork. Also, you know, brainstorming. These are the things that can also help improve.
Actually, I'm doing a PhD course on creative thinking, and I want us to talk about something about it. And I want us to be real. Let's go for break, just a few seconds break, and then we'll be back. God bless you.
I encourage every one of you that is out there listening to me, because it is the time of deluge of blessings and the time of preparation of God's children for the D-Day.
Welcome back, and we just want to briefly hit it, and because there's no time, we have a number of things. Just one thing to discuss, and then we just round off. I want to find out. I want to hear your opinions. This year will come with opportunities. Next year, rather, there will be opportunities, new challenges, like we said earlier. What do you think? Where is how will creative thinking help us maximize opportunities that comes along with the new year, the new calendar year, and how creative thinking can help us to maximize the challenges. One can talk about challenges and also solve problems that comes along with the new year. Can you just...
Okay, I will first of all start by saying that every challenge is more like an opportunity in disguise, opportunity for success, opportunity for achievement in disguise. Every achievement or success that anybody was able to make depends majorly on the amount or on the severity of the challenge that the person was able to solve. So the year definitely will throw upon us various challenges. There are challenges that come with the year, definitely. Now, but how we will go or how it will look to us will depend on our ability to creatively adapt and to creatively think and get ourselves out of that situation. So take for instance now the year brings a challenge of possibly like, okay, let me use this 2020 for an example of the coronavirus, where suddenly many people were out of jobs and many people were out of this thing. I know someone that took that time and they was able to learn various skills and he actually did undergraduate together, and he learned various skills in the coronavirus, and immediately after the coronavirus he was able to land the job immediately after. So I believe that depending on how one is able to see this, if someone sees it as a challenge and sees it and say, and just allow himself to just be there, you see that at the end of the day, when the shuffling is over, you will see that it's possibly has been cropped out. So I think that's what I
can say something.
Okay, actually, he actually kind of buttressed what I wanted to say, because critical thinking, as I earlier said, attitude towards it is very, very key. And as he said, the ability to adapt to change. So if the opportunities will come in the year 2020, challenges are coming, and then you shy away from those problems, because it is problems that give the birth of creative thinking, that gives the birth for innovation. So if you shy away from those problems, then you might not be able to adapt. So basically that's adapting the attitude in which you approach these matters a lot.
Okay, so what can you say, as we're rounding up, what can you say to that person that is the student that has some challenges this year, maybe whatever challenge, what can you say to the businessman? What can you say to the Christian out there? That's what can you say? Use there talking about our focus on creative thinking. What counsel can you give? What suggestion? What can you say? Looking at uh, someone that's maybe that I know that this coronavirus pandemic has brought out the best in some persons, and they may not know that uh, they had maybe they know that they have that kind of ability in them. Possibly somebody has a problem like creative thinking, critical thinking is problem solving, thinking to solve a problem. And you have a problem of finance, you don't know how to, you have some challenge, paying your hard challenges, paying your fees and all that. And what counsel can you give to someone? Let's quickly just sort of round off.
Okay, before we round up, my counsel is just brief, because on the other side, so many people are challenged by problems, and so many people are redundant to problems. And then this is where we talk about being proactive and being proactive, or you're being regressive towards it. So first of all, for those who think, because some people don't believe they can even proffer solution to anything, they just tend to flow with the normal. We look at the God we serve. The God we serve is a God. We see the power behind creation. So we all have a seed of that creative ability potential in us. So you can use this 2021 to harness that, and then you put it into practice. And if you do so by the help of the Spirit of God, I believe when problems and challenges come our way, we'll be able to tackle them and see progress.
I have anything to say?
Okay, I think he has talked about the people who are facing one challenge, but I want to talk about the people who are stereotyped, who are just there and they are just going about with the normal. They are not even concerned about growth, concerned about development. Well, I would like to say to them that we must, at every point, we must not flow with the normal. We mustn't just allow ourselves to just relax or to just be at ease. We must constantly invent new solutions, new ways of doing things, new ways of doing better things, because it's only through that we can actually achieve our maximum potential.
Such persons, the scripture came to my mind, woe unto them that is inside.
Yes.
There's some people, they trust in horses, or they trust in other people. They just believe that I will just stay there, somebody will just help me from somewhere. I just believe that somebody will just maybe one of the days I'm walking, I'm just going to meet a bag of money on the road, and just it's going to work out like that. And they just believe in Christendom, in Christianity, as children of God, they are not growing, and they're just they're not thinking what's making me, what am I going to do to profile, to come out of this. The way I'm praying, is it better? But they are trusting in this person and the other person. What I mean is, they are believing that one day, somebody's going to put food in my mouth, and then all my sorrow will be over. I think I agree with what you're saying, and then that's good. My beloved, we've come to just briefly time. The time we have is not enough to get into this issue of creative thinking. But creative thinking is very necessary in achieving progress, making impact for 2020. In fact, anybody that is not innovative will not grow. Innovation brings improvements. And so our minds, God gave us mind to think and ask why. Why not? Why not? Even if Satan is telling you can't achieve this, ask him why not? And even if circumstances, because it is circumstance that gave birth to the things you have now. If people were not creative, they would not invent airplane that now can fly from Cyprus to Singapore, and then you without any fuels, without any challenge. And so creative thinking is very, very important if you want to solve problems. Problems will come 2021. Challenges will come. Opportunities will come also. Someone will give you money. Someone can give you something. But if you are not creatively, if you don't engage the power of the mind, you are going to waste the resources that God is about to bring to you. Remember, I leave you with Job chapter 32 verse 8. There is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. There is a spirit in you. When the breath of the Almighty, the Holy Spirit is there to inspire you. The Holy Spirit is there to take your mind to explore opportunities and then navigate and come out of that challenge. We are believing the Lord that your 2021 will be great. So start now to start thinking. Start putting your mind to test. We want to also invite you for our December retreat, Mount Horeb 2020, where our daddy, the man of God, Pastor A.C. Ohadibo, the Abraham of our time, will be speaking to us. God will be bringing fresh bread from heaven. And so I believe that while you come, your mind will be exercised also by the Spirit of God to begin to think creatively. God bless you. Tomorrow we are going to talk about, we'll have someone that will be speaking to us on financial investment, a financial expert. And when we see you tomorrow, we trust that you'll be refreshed. God bless you.